And we're back, guys. Part 2 of Rogue Actions is back. We're ready to go. Welcome. If you're brand new to this channel, smash that red button. Super, super important to help us grow this awesome channel. Now, we have our boy Cubs fan Han. Cubs, my boy. We've had a ball talking in the first half of this video, guys.
Yes.
It's been pretty crazy. Guys, if you haven't seen it, the link is below. Go and check it out. Watch this first. You do it the other way around. Go down under first, then head back up top. If you like that kind of thing, everyone's a winner. Go back and check it out straight afterwards, and make sure hit the follow on both so you don't miss them week to week, because this is some crazy, crazy stuff. Now, Cubs, we were obviously talking a little bit in our last video, brother. We were talking about a little bit of guild unity and things we can do with our guild together. We're having a bit of a chat about that, and the question came up, and I've been thinking about this for a while. We know how big GAC is. We know how massive it is. It's the lifeblood of this game at the moment. Let's be frank about it. You know, creators are covering it. People enjoy it. The competition is real. It's solid and it's really fun. It's enjoyable. Let's be fair. But how good would it be if you could take on your own guild mates, like in a separate style of GAC, just a little closed event where you take on your own guild mates and you have an actual ladder to climb to the top? Would that be something you'd be interested in, Cubs? Because I reckon that would be amazing.
Everything about it I love. Are you talking, just to be clear, are you talking about like a guild sandbox, or are you talking about a PvP mode that would actually
guild PvP
rewards?
So GAC tournament style, guild mates only type thing. That's what I'm thinking. I think the beauty of, again, we talked about how cool it is and the unity that we have within our guilds. And there's, you know, there's just a lot of, you know, time to time you get a bit of chest pumping. You get a few people that are pretty happy with their performance and they're more than happy to let you know about it, which is great.
Right.
It's fine. How good would it be to actually have some proof? I think that would be the best bit. How good would it be if you can go, okay, here's the ladder, very similar to the, you know, community sort of competition ones that we used to do a while ago when you had those test accounts back then. How cool would it be that you could take on your guildmates head to head, GAC style, one winner at the top, best in guild? Would that be fun or what?
So I like it, but I want to put a caveat on it. I don't think something like that should be for rewards, personally.
Fair enough.
The reason why is I feel like there's two concerns. If I'm CG, I have two concerns about this. Number one, I would have concerns about guilds just not making it competitive at all and just manipulating the system for rewards and making this flat, like, all right, it's your turn, now it's your turn, now it's your turn, and then the mode doesn't get used at all correctly. And the other concern, of course, would be you've got the Uber whale in the guild who wins every time, and now everybody hates the Uber whale because he's taking all the spoils from everyone. But to wit, with what you love about this is the idea of guild competition, camaraderie, friendly competition. And so I think you can achieve that with something like this and just have it be for no rewards. Or maybe guilds can do their own, you know, out of game rewards if they want to of some sort. But to me, I think the only way this works if it's intra-guild is going to be without rewards, and I'm all about it. In that case, I'm all about it.
Absolutely. I reckon it'd be really fun. Even like something along the lines of a little mini donation pile, something like that. We know that we give donations to our guildmates. Maybe it could be a little pot.
Yeah,
you know, and you know, something like that. Winner takes all. That could be fun. And again, you can adjust your rewards accordingly.
I'm going to put out an audacious idea. This will never happen. But imagine if you could have two guildmates face off against each other, and everyone could wager bets on who's going to win with like actual game resources.
With gear. Yeah. No, that's it. Yeah, no, that wouldn't be a casino at all. No, not at all.
It'll never happen, but that would be so fun.
It would be. I get it. I mean, there'd be a lot of bets anyway. There'd be Zeta bets and bits and pieces. We're
already a bunch of gamblers, right? Like this game appeals to us.
We gamble on mod drops. Let's be honest. I mean, you just never know what you're going to get. That's how we roll. So you know, I just think that somehow if there's a way of some sort of an inter-guild competition, I think that could be a lot of fun. And again, I think that would foster more enjoyment within the collection of your 50 members that really you spend a lot of time with in this game, whether you like it or not. Well, a lot of us do, one way or another.
I love it to be inner guild and inner allies, so you can face off against your allies as well.
That would be great. That would be great. Now, let's move on to our next topic, Cubs. Now, this one is an interesting one. Now, we know that with the divisions, they're all over the place. We are aware of that. I think it's time that this gets addressed, if it hasn't already been mentioned. The reason I put it is this, okay? All right, I'm in Division 1, right? I'm in Division 1. Pretty high GP. I'm so free to play, you know that, right? Anyway, moving right along. But I've got relic count. I did a relic count the other day with my tail of the tape with some stats. I've got 108 relics in total. My choice. That's that. Not blowing my trumpet or anything. It's just the way it is. No. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. But
he's a whale.
One of my Patreons this week has put in their opponent. They've also just hit Division 1, just dropped into Division 1, and their opponent has 5 relics in their whole roster. Now, I don't care about reward levels. I don't care about changes to rewards or should be getting more, should be getting less. I don't care about any of that. To even have a roster of that level in the same sort of category as someone who is 7 to 8 mil GP, it just doesn't sit right with me. I don't know what it is. I just think that it's time to adjust it. Probably adjust a lot of them. But I'd love your opinion on whether you think it's a big issue or whether I'm making a mountain out of a molehill. I'm interested to see your thoughts. We've never discussed this, but I think that it's just one of those things that it's just getting a bit ridiculous now. It hasn't been done since it was released. It's always been the same. I think it's just way overdue.
So I'm going to ask you some leading questions here and be a bad debater, but why do you feel like it's a bad thing? How does it affect you negatively?
It's not a negative thing. It just seems like it's hard to explain, but I'm not sitting here blowing my trumpet saying I'm up here, but there's a lot of people that are very high GP anyway. And I think that having those guys bracketed and facing each other more head to head, I think makes a lot more sense. I mean, you're right now,
the only place this affects us is on the top leaderboard, right?
Correct.
Because somebody who's in a totally different area could, be up on the top of the Division 1 leaderboard, which is like kind of hard to compare. But otherwise, you're not facing off against these guys who just hit Division 1. You're never going to
face them. Never going to face them. And I'm not having a personal attack against it, guys. I'm not. All I'm saying is that it's probably time for a Division 1A, Division 1B, Division 1C, something along those lines.
Or just shift where Division 1 starts. And I will agree with you. It feels weird. Like, it's like, wow, how much of a GP gap is there in Division 1, and then you've got less than 1 million gap between all the others pretty much. And so Division 1 just feels like this massive catch-all. Why are we even calling it a division? But what I also think about is if we go through and do this overhaul and change where the division lines are, what really changes for us competitively?
Yeah,
I don't think anything changes.
You're still going to get some crap matchups, though. With the logarithm, if you're in Division 1, you're still in that division. You still have the opportunity to match up against people that you shouldn't be going up against.
I disagree, because the algorithm doesn't care about divisions. I mean, I think it only matters if you're on the cusp of Division 1, right? Because I think that they started it where you only face off against people in your division. But once you're comfortably in there, it's just the top 80 characters that matter. The division doesn't matter.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, look, I just think it's a bit crazy. I really do. It's only my opinion. And again, I may be way off the mark. But guys, give us your thoughts down below.
Let me add to it a bit more, though.
Let me know what you think.
Let me add to it a bit more. Because something that I think would be interesting, too, though, is if, obviously, we play up through Kyber League and we get there. What I kind of wish they would address is having the competition, having your GAC lifetime score factor into the matchmaking.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
And have a point where, you get into tougher brackets with better rewards as you win more over multiple GAC seasons. And then you really get to a place where you're starting to figure out who the best players really are. But I don't know.
Yeah. I like that idea, because you're betting against guys that are just as active as you or not as active as you. Yeah. I think that evens it out. I didn't even think of the lifetime score.
It also make it harder to win.
I like that idea. No, but that's beyond the point. And this is the thing. I mean, if you're up against that and you're hitting that bracket and you've got those characters and you're farming these guys and you're at whatever GP bracket, the whole idea should be a reasonably even contest. You should be winning on your theory crafting, your knowledge of the game, and the teams and how well you use those characters. That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
Now, I just think it's a little bit skewed because of that, just due to that division difference. But again, I might be looking into it too much. I'd love to know your opinion out there, guys.
If they did it in a way where it impacted things more than just because right now, every time I hear people talk about this in my mind, I'm just thinking all it's doing is changing the UI in the game and showing where I'm at and where other people at, but the competition's not changing. And so if there could be value in adjusting that more so, then I think there's more of a justification in doing it. Otherwise, I just don't see much of a point.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see if it gets changed at all. Just throwing it out there as an idea, but I just see 100 relics Division 1, 5 Division 1. Doesn't add up to me. Anyway,
Right.
That's just my thoughts. Just my thoughts. Anyway, we're down to our last topic. Let's move right through, Cubs. Viewer's choice. Now, guys, give us your questions. Put them in the comments below. Hit us up in our server. Get the questions out there. We ask one every week. We've got one this week from our boy, Whatever, has thrown this question out this week, Cubs.
All right.
Fleet loadouts, when? Simple as that.
Probably when hell freaking freezes over, man. I don't think they're ever going to do it at this point. And it's ridiculous. You want to get me fired up? Some people get fired up about politics. I get fired up every time I have to go program my freaking fleet by hand every time. Screw that crap. Where's my fleet selector, CG?
Guys, you're listening. If you didn't hear that, a bit of a shake-up. We got some Cubs rage going on right now, ladies and gentlemen.
It's stupid,
No, I agree.
man. Like,
It is
literally,
silly.
why?
It is silly. It is silly. There's no reason why we can't have fleet loadouts. I mean, you know, it's just we gotta have character loadouts. It's the same function. It really is.
What blows my mind is
Different
that when they
icons.
brought character loadouts, nobody was in the room thinking, hey, should we do this for fleets too? Like, or if somebody was that, who was the person who was like, nah, I don't think they want it.
Nah, we'll just worry about characters. What the hell? I know,
Like,
it's
just do
weird.
the
It's
same
just
UI.
strange.
Squad.
It makes you wonder, but
Just
guys,
put the button there. Do you like how simple the programming is to me? You know, as somebody who has no programming experience, just put the
Hey.
button there. Just make it work.
Dude, they have the technology. We have the polygons to make it happen.
We need the polygons.
So, guys, we have the polygons. Get it done, guys, and it'd be great. Fleet loadouts is certainly something that a lot of people ask for in our Discord servers.
Yeah.
It's certainly something that should have happened already. So if you could please, if you wouldn't mind, quality of life update. You know, if you could just slot that in there, there'd be a lot of happy campers. I'm just saying. But anyway, Cubs, it's been a thrill as always, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. It's been great. Let us know in your comments. Let us know what you think with your topics. Give us a question for next week. If it's good, if we think it works, and if you think Cubs will answer it with some Cubs rage, I'm going to ask it. It's as simple as that. So, guys, we'll see you next week. Thanks very much, Cubs. It's always great to have you, brother.
See you.
Love it.
Let's
It's so
do
much fun.
it together.